Alright guys, this is kind of a double upload, or it's a video that I'm uploading in the same day that I did the Lost Ark Part 1 playthrough. But anyway, this is like an emergency upload because I want to talk about this before things get too out of hand. So, you guys know me, I cover MMOs here on the channel. I've done it for a while, but things have changed over the years. I would consider myself a casual MMORPG player. There were times where that's all I did all day was play MMOs and make content. I ran guilds, I focused on lots of different topics. I would make videos dedicated to specific topics, even ones that aren't that big, but we can make a whole video discussing it. Nowadays, things are just a lot more laid back, a lot more casual, and I even want to upload stuff that's not MMO related. With that being said, as you can see, the topic here is the pay to win in the cash shop. It's about that with Lost Ark. Back in the day, there would be Revelation Online. We saw the cash shop. So it's like, hey, let's talk to the audience about what I think of this cash shop. Will it be pay to win or not? And then we know how that went once my.com, showed us their true colors. But those types of topics were things that I would focus on back in the day. Nowadays, I don't want to make videos or content like that because to me, it's just not as big of a deal. It is something that I would include in a review, but it's not something that I really care to make a topic on. So with that being said, as someone who's played Korean, Chinese, Japanese, a bunch of Eastern MMOs, I have known 90% of them to be pay to win. So if I see a new Korean game get announced, by default, I'm just going to think it's pay to win over there in that region. It does not make me think or become pessimistic or have negative thoughts that it's going to be pay to win in the West, although it usually ends up pay to win anyway. But it's not because, oh look, another Korean grindy game, this is going to be pay to win by default. Once it comes over here, it's just going to get fucked. That's not my mindset. But my mindset is, oh look, another Korean game, I guarantee this is pay to win. But it's not a problem to me because that's how games work in Korea. Most of them are pay to win, and you don't really see those players crying about it. That's their lifestyle. It's okay with them. In the West, it is so much different. We start foaming out the mouth over pay to win games, but in Korea, that's normal. So to me, when I see a Korean game, by default, I assume, yeah, it's most likely pay to win, probably has some type of gacha, loot boxes, or whatever, the usual. And once it comes to the West, maybe they'll change that and make it better for our region. This is my mindset. So by default, I think Lost Ark is pay to win. And I remember reading an article, this one to be specific. I made this a favorite, or I bookmarked it, I feel a month or two ago, because I was actually going to discuss this in my review video. And it was titled, and it's on Reddit, Korean guy who played some Lost Ark today here. Brief summary on why this won't ever come to the West. So this guy's wrong because I believe it has been confirmed to come to the West. It's actually going to Russia right now. But this detailed and discussed why Lost Ark was pay to win. And after reading this and already having that mindset that, yeah, it's a Korean game, it's most likely pay to win, well, seeing all this information and proof, it was like, yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. So yesterday when making the video, although I have not looked into the cash shop and translated stuff for myself, I'm thinking, well, I'm playing a Korean game, it's pay to win. There's an article that I read that I will get to in my review and discuss point by point why it's pay to win from someone who's actually Korean. If he's actually Korean, because you can't trust people on Reddit, but I would assume so because the article was kind of detailed. But after making that video, there are people in the comments that are Cryy, I usually like your videos, but this one, you're just wrong. This game is not pay to win. So it's like, where's this coming from? Is it truly not pay to win? So I looked it up, and as you can see, this article has been deleted actually, so I can't even make these points or read about it. So first, it is my mistake for assuming that this game would be pay to win and listening to one article. But as I said, I thought this was a Korean guy, a trustworthy source, and maybe that was poor judgment. If you look at other stuff, I just recently came across an article on my phone, but I can't find it. But it was someone who was counter-arguing the points that the Korean guy made, pretty much saying they were bullshit, and they proved some very good points. But right here in the comments of this deleted post, this guy says, I'm part of the main Twitch Discord of English players that play Lost Ark online. We have quite a few Korean people there, and they all say it's not pay to win. The story is quite interesting as well, so I don't know what you are getting at, dude. Your post seems iffy. Okay, well, most of that's about other points he had. But yeah, so other Korean players don't think it's pay to win. And this person says it's not pay to win completely. You can be a 12-year-old kid or a 40-year-old man playing this with the best gear, but if you don't dodge in boss fights, you will die. If you don't use cooldowns and grenades, shurikens effectively, you would do less damage. It's still a skill-based game. Did you read my post about what the cash items do? These aren't game breaking, but they give you an edge in combat. Consumables, armor skins you buy with microtransactions give you an edge. Top streamers in Korea who have hit level 50, max level, already spent at least $200 to farm and do more damage. Of course, there's no single game where you can buy gear with money, which multiplies your stats, but they do help. So obviously, there's always going to be some way to get ahead in every game's cash shop. But whether or not you think it's pay to win, like best in slot gear being only available on the cash shop, things like that, that's obviously pay to win. And then here's another Reddit post. Nobody talks about the pay to win cash shop. I found this one a bit funny, but this person says, seriously, this game just going to be pay to win as fuck and nobody seems to care of it. Here's his points. Business model and cash shop. Highest tier gear, best in slot, cannot be obtained any faster by spending money. Right there, this guy just shot themselves in the foot because you're just saying that it's not pay to win. If the highest tier gear, best in slot, is not obtained by spending money, then how's that pay to win? Increased dungeon entries is one of the main things that I had an issue with. So if this is something only available by buying, or dungeon revives, which seem to be a necessity, but I did read an article that said they're kind of not end game or you can't use them in the late game, something like that. I still don't have proof of this, but let's say that buying revives in dungeons is true, because from what I've experienced, it seems that once you die in a dungeon, you cannot return unless you have this feather or item. And what that means is that the people who are still in the party can still continue, but they don't have your DPS. And I think that's a very shit system, especially if the only way to obtain these feathers is by the cash shop, but there probably is another way. But yeah, it's things like that that made me just straight up assume, well, Korean game, pay to win. Article pointing out these flaws, yeah, it's pay to win. I took it with a grain of salt. It wasn't really as important as it came off to you guys as it was to me saying it, because it's of no surprise to me, nor do I care if the game is pay to win in Korea, because that doesn't determine whether or not the game is going to be pay to win in the West. Maybe it has some point, but it doesn't mean that it's going to follow the same model, the same choices, decisions, items. So yeah, for me, it did not have that big of an impact, and I don't want you guys to ever let my videos or my words have that big of an impact on you. Watch them for entertainment, watch them with other people that play similar games, but don't ever take my word or my advice or my reviews as 100%, this is correct, these are facts. No, these are coming from a casual guy who just enjoys MMOs and talks about it. This YouTube channel is like a diary, and I write stuff here. If you were taking things too serious, please don't. Don't get your panties in a bunch over things like that. Otherwise, this channel may not be the place for you. But as of right now, I don't know if Lost Ark is pay to win. I would assume that it is because it's Korean, but with these articles and with all these points I'm seeing, people are arguing that it is not. So for now, I'm going to be in between and think, you know, some say it is, some say it isn't. So I will find out for myself as I approach the end game. Maybe then I'll look into the cash shop, translate stuff by myself, or find a Korean friend who can translate stuff for me and tell me his opinion. But as of now, yeah, I just don't want this to get out of hand, and I don't want people to take it too serious. So going forward, the Lost Ark playthroughs will continue. I didn't mean for this to be me judging the game or reviewing the game. It was just something that came out of my mouth while, you know, being on autopilot, just playing the game. The focus is just me leveling and adventuring in Lost Ark, not reviewing Lost Ark. Sorry to those offended and really hurt by me saying that, but I'm also sorry that it affects you that much, and I feel you should loosen up just a little bit. With that being said though, thanks for watching this video. More content's on the way. January and Feb might be a bit slow because other things in my life are picking up, but I would try to keep the content coming. For a while now, I've been uploading almost every day or every 2 days, but as you can see, there was a 6 or 7 day gap between the last Lost Ark video and the previous content, and you might see some of that here and there. Anyway, I'll shut up now. Thanks for listening, and have a good night, day. Hope you had a good New Year's. I'll catch you in the next one. See you soon, friends.